PR people and the people in Hollywood, the film studios, and you know, whoever the powers be, they know this whole term about usage is a standard language in any contract. So what you really want to do is you want to be paid for usage. And they know if you're representing yourself, they know they got you. They know they got you when they got you on the phone. So you really want to be represented by an agent. And you're better off being represented by one agent that you have a business partnership with. Because who we are as an industry is a business. We can't run it as a cottage industry. We can't have all these, 450 separate cottage industries. We need to be represented by an agent. We need to have that business relationship with that agent. And we need to have one set price. And we need to realize that when Hollywood comes to us, when the city government, when the federal government, when a foreign government comes to us, or a marketing company that has a national, representing Gap, or whatever, that we go back to them. We're the other business side of that, because corporate America is coming and they're knocking at our door. And who we want to answer is somebody that has a very high profile and they know how to negotiate usage. And most of us don't know that term. So I just wanted to tack it on to what Elise said.
Thanks, Wendell. I think that's important because he has an exclusive agent and really it works. If you have the right agent, it really does work because all of us agents, we all know each other. We all know all of you guys. We all know how to get in touch with you. But if you're represented by one agent, like I know when I need Eddie Moss, I call Dan Doyle. I know if I want Marcel Forestieri, who does Jay Leno, I have to call Jeff. Or, whatever the situation is. So it's just something for you. I try to plant this seed every year so that we can just bring our image up, that you're all represented. It just really matters when you're talking to the client. And you can say, yes, I am available. You have to call my agent, for the negotiations. And then the contracts come through the agency. And then we cover your ass. We make sure you're picked up at the airport. We make sure you've got your per diem. We make sure everything's taken care of. So it brings us up more professional. And you're driving the fees down too because you guys don't know what to charge yourselves. His story about $1,000 he thought was good money and ended up getting $10,000 because the agent negotiated it properly because there was usage involved. So just planting a seed. Yes.
What's the percentage of what the agent?
8%. If I charge $1,200 for a trade show, I'll keep 2. Give the talent 1. But I always ask the talent, what do you want? What do you want? And if you have to get on a plane, I always tell my clients, if they have to get on a plane, they are your normal venues in the United States. But if you travel overseas, or you have to travel to New York, which is more expensive, and it's $100, $150 per day per diem, because the airlines don't feed you anymore. And that has to include the travel days. So there's all this that you need to know. And that's why if you have an agent, an exclusive agent, they'll work with you on that.
And typically, if you're exclusive, the company that you're exclusive with, the person you're exclusive with, a bigger scale. It's like if you're the best, you should. If you're at the top of your game, you should really have an exclusive manager or agent. You really should.
Do you have a Brooks and Dunn? We're available.
To be honest with you, I take on people typically that are new in the business that I can basically mold or turn into my vision of who they are, which is not good or bad, it's just what I do. And I've been successful with Eddie, but I don't know, and I like pop culture people, like, I spoke to Janine, when she came into this, because I like stuff that's hot, like, I was she's not hot now. I mean, she's hot now, but Amanda's not really hot now. So, I mean, it just depends on what's hot.
Always hot, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I could do for Brooks and Dunn. I mean, of course, if you had bookings, I mean, I know I could do a reel for you. I know I could do a great website for you. I know I could do it, but I mean, I'm sure you can do that all yourself.
But are you a manager or an agent? Or
I consider myself a manager. Because typically, if I see an act here that I really like, and I have the cash flow, I'll put money into it. And that's different from a lot of agents.
No, I don't. My husband killed me.
And I put a lot of money into Eddie, and thank God it was Scary Movie 3. Scary Movie 3, it was a wonderful experience for him. He made over $40,000 for that gig. And he just got about $8,000 for residuals this past year from it, and he'll keep getting residuals.
I always strive every year to try to bring you just so much more to us. So anyway, I have quite a few people that are here that are able to help you with the videotaping of the show tomorrow, if you're in the showcase, that it's a 3-camera shoot. And Sean is over at the table, and he'll be able to help you. We also have a photographer that's here. And having good headshots and having good marketing tools is something that's crucial for us as your bookers, because we really need to be able to have the best quality of what you do, because that's really what sells you. I can't do it verbally. I can make recommendations to my client, but you really have to have the tools to give us. And that's agent-friendly websites.
Background about myself first, so you figure out how this all fits in. I heard about the agency and I heard about the websites. My background is I started in the industry 30 years ago, and I actually own a very successful agency up in Vancouver for the film and television industry, because we're very busy up there, and a lot of Americans don't like that. A lot of work goes up there, but it's the way it goes. And I also own a very successful management company in the United States. Irene Cara from Fame and Flashdance, etc. And she now has a new group that's come out. It's Hot Caramel, and it's going to be touring starting this month. And we also manage her, along with some other people, people on OC, etc. So I came here as a favor to my cohort over here, because I worked with him for a very long time. And his brother was very busy, and I started out in the industry as a fashion photographer years ago, and I still do some of our talent for the film and television industry. I do their headshots, so they asked if I could come out and help, and I ended up here because I'm also a website guru person, and it's turned out to be more of a website thing. But listening to all of this agency business and the website business, and seeing how 95% of my income comes from, and agents and managers, we're not going away either. At least I've been around for 30 years, and I think I'm going to stay around for a few more if I don't pass away. But everything's going to be okay. So, how do you mix these two? Because we find that a lot of people with websites are representing themselves. So how do we be an agent? You know, we have all these people running around with the websites. Scouting place, I find a lot of new talent there. And the one thing we always tell everybody is that when you work, for example, if you do a SAG project, you're going to get fallacies right now. Is that number one, low tech is good tech. If you can remember that when you're doing all this website stuff, that's going to be the most important part to you. Who's the most important person in your world when you're doing this business? It's you. True? Only you. That's what's going to be the final sale. And when people come to us and they want to do their own websites, we don't care. In fact, if you go to the Irene Cara website, when you go through the Irene Cara website, everything is all there. The ultimate end of it is that if you want to do a booking, guess who you have to book through? Us. And it comes to us. Our information is there, everything. So if you want to book Irene Cara, you have to book through us. So there's nothing wrong with having a website. As a matter of fact, we love it because she has a huge fan base, and that just creates more traffic all the time, which means more people are aware, which means we have an easier job for us. But once we get that, we work our little butts off to get more money, because that's what it's all about. We want that percentage to be higher. So the website, what it comes down to when you do these websites, and I'm a graphic freak too. I started out in the industry as a fashion photographer years and years ago. I can do all kinds of graphic stuff. I respect graphic artists, but I live in two worlds. I have one foot in the talent world, and I have one foot over here in the graphic world. And it's really simple. When it comes right down to it, when you go to a website, is your website selling you? Or is your website selling the graphic artist skills? And this is where it comes down to. Low tech is good tech. I have a site because I also have another international. I have models in New York and Paris. I've kept the model industry up for a long time too. It's been successful for me. I won awards for that site from Yahoo, everything. There's not one bit of flash or gook or anything on that site. It's about the girls. I made sure that the pictures are great, because when people want to see somebody, they don't want to see flashing. They don't want to see and wait 25 minutes to get into the site. They want to see if they want to hire you. Isn't that what it's about?
Yes.
So when you walk into a mall or something, you're walking through, you see all the fancy lights, or you walk down the strip here and you see all the stuff. I see all these people paying so much money all the time to get this glitz so that you have 25 Huggy Bears running across the screen, you know, and people screaming things and all this kind of stuff. And really all you need to do is show your friggin' picture, right? And show what you can do. Isn't that right? And how to book you? Simple. And then the other thing you should have is just when they do book you, yeah, okay, I have a vested interest, but the agency, gotta have an agency. You would not believe the contracts that come through our desk daily. In fact, I had to spend a lot of time, even coming down the plane, we had one for another one of our, just a series regular, 27 pages just for the first part, just for the pilot, and then 40 years for each cycle after. And that was just the start of it. Do you want to go through that? I don't think so. You don't even know what's going on. And we have an entertainment lawyer, but they cost money, so we do most of the blunt work first before it gets there. So I almost end up being a lawyer, but you need an agency. And then the other thing, I don't know how many of you live, everyone. I guess, okay, I guess that's what stays, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's like, really, you're dating 6 people at the same time, and you can't be loyal to anybody. You don't know what's going back, and they're not going to be loyal to you. So find one person in one city. Now that doesn't mean that you can't have an agency in New York and an agency in LA, but let me tell you one thing, if you're going to do that and you're going to be very successful at this, you better have a manager.
Is that what you meant?
All you do is you think of
When I
every,
sign on, I put my name down?
right, you think of every derivative that you could possibly have for your name. And what you do is you go and sign those up. And you don't even have to put a website for each one. You can just park it. They're like $9 a month. Some places will park it for free. So you own it. You just pay the $9 registration.
But no one else can use it?
Right.
Okay.
But or what you can do is you can pay an extra $4 or $5 a year and have it directed so someone types it in wrong. It's like the guy that owns microsift.com. He makes so much money because everybody types in, and the O and I are next to each other. They type in microsift and it goes there. And it directs to his site. So you do the same kind of thing, and it also increases your traffic. So if somebody's looking in for an Anna Nicole lookalike, let's face it, Google and Yahoo, they're not stupid. They make millions of dollars from doing that. And we use them a lot because when people drive to you, that's your marketing. But make sure when they get there that you have an agent to do the booking. The most important thing is don't sell your name out. That's like buying a house and letting the caretaker have it in his name. While he looks after my house, I put it in his name. That's what you're doing when you do a website like that. That's stupid. And the other thing is don't spend a whole bunch of money for selling some graphic guy's site. People go there and it's all fancy-dancy, and no one can get to you. I've actually had agents who got rid of things. They just said, I don't have. In the United States, they passed a law 3 years ago that if somebody you actually have that name, but if you're not famous, they can actually still retain that name. So you have to go through a whole bunch. You can go to networksolutions.com.
Who, what, where, when.
Exactly, because a lot of people forget that. You get these long emails and you still don't know what the hell's going on. So we give them a little thing that is like kind of user-friendly, but still bulletproof. They just put it in place. It comes to you.
This person, because that way I don't have to get a VHS from you or a DVD and send it in the mail. They can go directly, because everything's happening so fast now with booking.
Good, but what the neatest thing about it, and it's a system that I actually helped build, my little nerdy part, and it's used all over North America, and it's companies, MGM and all that kind of stuff is using it. But I used to work in casting for 2 years down in LA, helping them set up internet casting systems with Mary Jo Slater and everybody from all the Fox studios, everybody. What's really nice about it is, you know when you send those emails out to people and you wonder, did they get it? Are they reading? We set this thing up so that when it goes out, so if I was to send my reel, my thing out to all of you, it tells me every time you open it, right? We love those people. Sometimes they're a pain in the ass, but the pain in the ass people always make us money because they're me. We want me. And that's what you should be thinking about when you talk to the website guy or anybody. It's about you. Okay. Thank you very much.